Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. We're going to watch now a clip called Biden's Border Crisis. This is about the Eagle Pass in Texas, along the border of Mexico, where over 4,000 illegal migrants were crossing every single day just to this one location. And the Texas governor put up barbed wire and other things, other barriers, transport barriers for trucks got piled up with barbed wire on top. Supreme Court just ruled that the feds can take down the barbed wire, so we're going to have to see what happens. But you're going to see some video here that shows you what it was like prior to the Texas National Guard and the state police. And now Texas National Guardsmen and police, state police, are arresting individuals that sneak across the border. Let's just check it out, and I'll comment along the way.
Texas officials are installing additional razor wire and fencing along the southern border in an area of federal land the state has now taken over, and they're making arrests there. Correspondent Matt Finn is in Eagle Pass, Texas again tonight.
Fox cameras today captured Texas state troopers arresting migrants who illegally crossed the razor wire barrier in Shelby Park, a major change in policy.
There it is. They're arresting them. Now, you're going to see what they have to do with them, unfortunately, after they're charged with criminal trespass. It kind of defeats the purpose, but they don't have any other choice. I don't know what else they could do. Let's listen on.
Texas DPS tells Fox News that the migrants it arrests will be charged with criminal trespassing and wait in jail until sentencing. However, DPS points out, after that, Texas will turn the migrants over to ICE, which will decide whether to deport. Could you see how some people would say that's a waste of your resources to arrest them, to book them, to process them, then turn them back over to the Biden administration who releases them?
Yeah, that's kind of like a double standard there. You know, we're trying to do one thing and then they do a different thing.
They do a different thing. They're supposed to be doing the same things, guarding and protecting the residents of the United States, and in Texas' case, Texas. They're doing a different thing. Think about that for a minute. The Texas public safety, i.e. the state police, and the National Guard are arresting illegal migrants coming in the United States through Texas to protect its residents in Texas. That's their charge. And now they're in direct conflict with the federal government. They're working against the state of Texas to protect their citizens. Think about that. The federal government is purposely going out of its way to take safeguards from protecting its own citizens. Think about that.
Over the past week, Fox crews have not seen any large migrant groups attempting to cross Texas's barbed wire. A few weeks ago,
Now, see, there is the same pass. There's the same. Thousands and thousands and thousands. But once barriers were put up, it went down to a trickle. Gee, what a shock.
DPS says up to 4,000 migrants a day freely crossed in and around the park. That number has dipped down to 700 yesterday. Smaller groups of about 5 people approached, but Texas National Guard ordered them back to Mexico. This man and woman holding babies tried to get through the wire, a reminder of the humanitarian crisis.
I do have to say, though, in all honesty, my heart just goes out to those people. But they've been told a lie. They've been told, just show up to the U.S. border, we'll take you in. That's not what the U.S. law does. So I'm not going against those parents there with the 2 small children. They were told, just show up, and they'll put you up in a place. They'll give you money. They'll give you health care. They'll give you food. They'll give you clothes, a place to stay. Well, it's a scam. It's a scam. It goes against U.S. law.
Today, Texas installed more razor wire fencing on top of cargo containers. Democratic candidate for Maverick County Commission thanks Governor Abbott for fortifying this park.
He's helping a lot more than anybody has.
Now, she's a Democratic candidate for a countywide position. A Democrat candidate. Let me say that again. A Democrat candidate praising the governor.
here. Again, I know that's a controversial issue here because I know there are a lot of people who don't want to hear that.
And Brett, today Texas DPS told me that it is getting considerable cooperation from the Mexican state of Coahuila. If they catch migrants on trains looking to illegally cross into the United States, they're sending them on buses back south. Brett.
Imagine that. Imagine that. They're sending them back south on buses. Now, those of you that follow my channel say, John, you're a hypocrite. You said yourself, your grandparents came over off the boat, Italians. They came from Italy. They're immigrants too. So you're a hypocrite. No, not at all. They came here legally. And in fact, I remember as a small child when some of my family members and some other Italian members in the neighborhood I used to live in before my parents bought their house used to tell stories, and I used to see them fix up a bedroom. They want to bring a couple of cousins over or a cousin. The immigration would come to the house where the person was going to stay. They wanted to see if they had a place to stay, and they wanted to see if the individuals in that house made enough money to support themselves and the relative they were bringing over, so they wouldn't be a burden on the taxpayers. Let me repeat that. So they wouldn't be a burden on the taxpayers. What the hell has happened since then? I'm only 67. I'm not that old. It's amazing to me. You come into a port of entry and apply for asylum, and economic hardship and poverty is not, I repeat, not on the list of things that you can claim for asylum. It is not, it never was. How are these people? They're flying them everywhere. I've seen boarding passes on videos where it says name unknown. Try to go through TSA into an airport and get on a plane without any ID, let alone they coddle you, give you a card with thousands of dollars on it to use, give you new clothes, toiletries, hygiene products. Get on a nice plane. Some of them private planes, they're really nice, and fly you Chicago, New York, Milwaukee, Baltimore, you name it. And then God knows where they go after that. They're going to make it impossible for the next president, if that president decides, or a future president decides, to deport these people. You're going to see lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. It's going to be endless. And they end up like the DACA kids, where they've been here for 20 years unlawfully. And by the way, for all you Obama and Biden fans, DACA was put in by President Obama, which many courts, including the Supreme Court, ruled unconstitutional and illegal. I have no clue how they have DACA standing when DACA is unlawful. What the hell is going on? Whatever happened to the rule of law? You have to ask yourself, why are they doing this? Well, some people say for the votes, for this coming presidential election, because many states, including my state of New York, gives out driver's licenses to non-citizens. Now, if they had big, bold print like they put non-driver's license, if you use a driver's license for an ID but don't drive, they'll issue you a non-driver's license, same thing. And it says right on it, non-driver's license, a big, bold print right across the front. Why not? If you want to give a driver's license to a person that's not a citizen, fine, give them the driver's test, they pass the driving test, you issue them a license, and big, bold print across it, non-citizen. Yeah, I think that's fair. No, but they're going to use these driver's licenses to register. Now, how many, I don't know. But on top of that, for every 770,000 illegal migrants that go up north in these big cities, for every 770,000, there's a difference between 15 and 20 million illegals in this country, but 770,000 is the size of one average congressional district. So do the math. Do the math. 10 is 7.7 million. It's almost 30 congressional seats being held by Democrats just from the illegals alone. We'll say 20 to be conservative. but it's probably more. That's a lot, considering right now, because of retirements and people leaving Congress, the majority of the Republicans have, I believe, is 2 seats. 2. In this coming election. 2. So that 20 looms pretty large, doesn't it? Are they doing it for all the reasons I just mentioned? Probably more. Yeah. I mean, there's videos of people that obviously are not of Hispanic descent crossing the border. They estimate between 15 and 25,000 Chinese nationals have crossed the border. And these aren't women with little kids in strollers. They're military age males in their 20s. Hundreds and thousands of them from all over the world. You look at these caravans, they're not filled with women and children. 75, 80% of them are young, military age men. Young men. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I really don't. Even if Donald Trump wins this November and is sworn in January of 25, how the hell is he going to get rid of 20 million people? I sure as hell don't hope he doesn't make the same mistake that Ronald Reagan did. One of the very few major criticisms I have of Ronald Reagan was the amnesty deal that he made with Tip O'Neill, who was Speaker of the House then. Tens of millions were given amnesty. You're getting something for breaking the law. It's incredible to me. Incredible. And this isn't just some trivial law. This isn't littering or jaywalking. These are federal crimes. Now, what's going to happen, like the video said, they'll arrest these people, they'll put them up for trial, they'll sentence them for criminal trespass, and then they cut them loose to ICE. I wouldn't. I would send them right directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. Don't deport them. Put them in jail. Yes, it's going to be an expense to the taxpayers of Texas to put them in jail, but it's costing them billions now. You notice that it went from 4,000 a day to less than 700 at Eagle Pass because they know they can't come there. Maybe if they start seeing that there's some of their people that are crossing unlawfully go to jail, we'll say it's 6 months for criminal trespass a year. Word will get around, and the numbers will go down drastically. Go down drastically. It has to, because this is destroying this country. Are the Democrats, the progressive Democrats, willing to burn the whole place down? It's kind of like a couple in a divorce. Well, if I can't get the house, you can't either. And one burns it down, so the other one can't get it. This is, in essence, what it is. It's disgusting, and it's immoral, and our founders are turning over in their graves. Anyway, folks, this is a little story about what's going on in Texas. And one other thing I wanted to mention, one of these days, the National Guard, the Texas State Police, whoever it is going to be standing their guard, and the feds are going to show up to take down the wire, the metal wire in the containers. And they're all going to be armed on both sides. And I pray to God nothing bad happens. But just like at Lexington and Concord, when one shot fired out, and to this day, they don't know who or what side it came from. When one shot was fired, all of a sudden, all hell broke loose and everybody was firing. I'm afraid that's going to happen. And that could be the spark that ignites a regional civil war. We'll have to see. I pray not. And until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.